Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, I usually don't buy the same thing twice. Usually if I buy a watch, I'll buy something completely different the next time round. But some watches get my attention and I go out and buy one, two, maybe even three colourways of the same watch, just because of the design and the spec hitting the nail on the head for me. And there's only a few of these watches that I'd really put in that category. Now you may remember my review of the Padi Samurai. Loved it, absolutely adored this watch. The Pepsi bezel on it really set it off for me, and Padi styling on the dial, loved that wave style on there. But that's not my only Samurai. In fact, that's one of my 3 Samurais. And the other, you may have noticed, is on my wrist right now. This little beauty is the SRPD03K1, which you may know as the Dawn Grey Samurai. Limited edition, and it's absolutely beautiful. So guys, I'm Jason, I'm your watch guy today, and let's get into this review. So this is my Samurai Dawn Grey edition. They brought these out in 2018, and they only made 2018 of them. My one is number 1839, so quite up there, but I'm quite glad I got hold of one because these are absolutely gorgeous. I think these may be one of my favourite Seiko designs, and this is probably, of those designs, my favourite colourway. So Seiko released these at the price of £470, which isn't a bad price for a limited edition Seiko. They did, however, sell out pretty much immediately, and you can now find them on eBay for around 500, maybe a bit more pounds, which speaks to how much the Seiko fan base really love this watch. So as I said in the intro, this is the SRPD03K1. They did make the same Dawn Grey colourway in the turtle. I'm not the biggest fan of the turtles, so I've kind of skipped out on that one. So as I said in the intro, I have bought 3 of these Samurais. This is probably my favourite. So I'll get into the case and the size of this watch first. It comes in at 43.8mm in diameter, which is a bit chunky, but very wearable because lug to lug it's only 48.5. As you can see, it kind of curves down to the wrist, which is quite nice. It fits quite well even to smaller wrists like my own. It is 13mm thick, so it's quite chunky, and it has 22mm lugs, which tapers down to 20 at the clasp. Last little bit of specifications on this watch. It runs the 4R35 movement, which is a hand-winding, hacking movement. It's pretty solid in my experience. I don't think I've had a watch that I've complained about with that movement in it. You will find that they are pretty solid. It is the Seiko NH35, just with a different name, and as pretty much every person who has ever owned a micro brand watch will tell you, it is pretty solid. It's quickly becoming the standard that people expect. Now, one thing that I really love about the Seiko Samurais, which I did mention in the Padi review, is the angular casing. The kind of like triangle pointed lugs that flow down your wrist, look like they've been sheared off at the end. Gives you a real futuristic type of look to the watch. It has a nice high polish finish on the side in between the lugs. On the other side it has these triangular crown guards, which really flows with the design of the watch. I think it really does add to the whole angular look of the case, as well as playing a main role of guarding that crown for you. The rest of the watch aside from this side is a brushed steel. As you can see, really nice finish from Seiko in my opinion. We have drilled lugs, makes changing that bracelet very easy, which may be the case for a lot of you guys who buy this watch. Not everyone's the biggest fan of a Seiko bracelet. Obviously this is a Seiko diver watch, so it comes with the standard of a screw down crown and screw down case back. 200 meters diver rated, as it says on the dial just there. Automatic divers 200 meter. This is from the Prospects range, so as you can expect, it is of Seiko's higher standard. Now around the crown we have a nailed design, which is great for grip, as well as the nailed design around the bezel. Makes this really grippy and easy to manipulate. This is a 120 click unidirectional bezel, as you would expect from Seiko, and I really do like the action in these bezels. I think it's really solid. So let's get into the design, this dawn grey design. I absolutely love what they did with this. The grey and orange bezel really sets this off for me, as well as little orange accents that I'll get into around the watch later. This bezel really does pop. This 15-minute oxygen level counter is really nice in the orange. The rest of the bezel is quite subdued in that grey, and I think that adds to the orange pop and really makes it stand out. Now we have 10-minute indicators at the rest of the watch. Try and go with the pip at the 12 o'clock. As you may be able to see, I hope you can, because moving on into the dial, it has a kind of crosshatch type of look to the dial, which I believe is, I hope I pronounce this right, it's a the Padi dial, which is that type of dotted crosshatch type of look on that dial. It really does pop. They didn't have this on the turtle dial, which was one of the main selling points for this watch for me, because as I did mention on the Padi Samurai, the dial was really amazing, the way that I stood out with that wave pattern. I also own the Save the Ocean Great White Samurai, and that wave pattern on that is amazing. I'll have to get that review in soon. But this one is also a really nice dotted type of crosshatch pattern. I love that dial. It really does stand out when you've got it on wrist, especially when you've got it in the sun. Lovely design on there. It really does give a nice 3D effect to the watch, as they have with the other Samurai watches that I mentioned. Another nice effect, as I point out this chapter ring around the edge, we have the black indicators at the 5 minutes and the second intervals. But if you can see there, at the 3 o'clock date window, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock, it's highlighted in orange. That really does set off the rest of the design with the bezel and the second hand, as you can see it ticking away there. I really like how they made this orange flow through the watch, but they didn't push it. If you've seen the American release, I believe it's a sheer orange dial, and while that's nice, it isn't as subtle and elegant as this type of design, I don't believe. To finish off the dial, we have the Seiko logo printed on the top, Prospex logo down towards the 6 with automatic divers 200 meter, as I mentioned prior. These indices are obviously applied and loomed with Seiko's Lumibright. I will insert a loom shot just here for you. As you can expect, Seiko loom, it's as standard, a really good quality. Another thing that I'll point out for you, as I did in the Padi video, this monster style handset, I really do like that. It's bold and very legible, especially with this black border that you can see. Now on the Padi version, they had a silver edge on the hour hand and a red on the minute hand. That was nice, and I appreciated the red Padi type of effect to the minute hand, but it wasn't as legible as this. And for me, I really do love a good legible watch. Easy to read at a glance, I think really does it for me, and that is exactly what this watch does. And as I did mention, you can see that nice little elegant orange tip on the hand. As I said, they're not trying to push the orange accents on this watch, they're just letting it add to the design of the watch, and I really do like that from Seiko. As you probably know by now, not many watches get past me without some moans. This is no exception. Now, if I haven't shown you it, it's probably because I'm not going to be happy about it, and I'm leaving it till the end. As you know from Seiko, we do not get sapphire crystals. We get this hardlex type of crystal, which better than mineral, but at the same time, I would like to see them step up to a sapphire crystal. It's just an added piece of quality that I expect from my watches, and unfortunately, we don't get that here. I haven't mentioned the bracelet because it's not the best. This one is better than the Seiko 5 bracelets that you get from them, but it's not the best. It is a little bit of a cheaper type of feel to it than some other bracelets at this price point. We do get a diver's extension, as we did on the Padi version of this watch. Just extend that for you, which is great for going over your wetsuit, but very hard to actually access. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't know if I've just got the wrong technique, but yeah. We have a pressed clasp, which again, not the best from Seiko. I would like to see a milled clasp. Seiko printed logo on the buckle. Yeah, as I say, not the best. I think pretty much every experience that I've had with Seiko, I haven't been 100% pleased with the bracelet. This is one of the better ones. It's much better than the Seiko 5s that I've reviewed. Overall, my conclusion of this watch, it's one of my favourite in my collection. It's not one that I wear all the time. It is one that I like to wear of occasion when I'm feeling the moment. Now, it's one that I know that I probably won't see on someone else's wrist unless I'm in a Seiko forum of some sort. And I really do like that. It's a nice feeling to know that you've got something that not many other people did get. As I say, only 2018 were made, and I was lucky enough to get one of them. I would say if you can pick up one of these at a reasonable price, around the 400 mark, maybe less if you get a really good deal, I would definitely advise it. It's one that I'm going to keep in my collection for many, many years to come. I probably won't ever sell this watch. I think this will sit with me until I'm old and maybe looking to pass it on. So guys, thank you for watching this review of my Seiko Samurai. As I said, I did do a review on the special edition Padi Samurai. If you want to see that, it is linked in the description. Please do go watch it. It is a lovely watch and it is much more accessible at the moment. I will be reviewing the Great White version of the Seiko Samurai very soon, so please do pop back for that. If there is any other watch that you'd like to see me review, please do comment and I'll try and get them in for review. I'd like to be doing things that you'd like to see over just things that I like to buy. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you again.